Hello and welcome to Digital Bytecraft. In today's video, we are going to cover some very important segments of the account health on Amazon Seller Central. By the end of this video, you will have a complete knowledge about the account health segment and the compliance segment of Amazon Seller Central. We will look into in detail how to manage the restricted product violations, the listing policy violations, the regulatory compliance, other policy violations, intellectual property violations, and product authenticity and condition complaints by the customer. Let's look into each one of it. Now to cover this segment of all issues, we have already covered the order defected, the shipping performance. Now we will cover one by one all of these regulatory compliance. So number one is the suspected intellectual property violations. So intellectual property violation means someone has a right over the intellectual property of that item and you cannot sell it in your own name. Normally most of the sellers don't face it. It is only because you are using an image of a product that is not yours, or you are like using anything that is copyright or trademarked. So always try to avoid that. Now difference between the suspected and the received intellectual property complaint. Now suspected intellectual property violation is an relatively linear thing where you can just appeal and represent your case and get it resolved. But received intellectual property complaint is a serious matter and it can get your account deactivated. So in received intellectual property complaint, proper receipt is made to Amazon by a person that you are selling his product or using his intellectual property. So always try to make sure that you don't receive such complaints. But if you do, you don't, and you are not on fault, then you don't have to worry. You just have to be ready with all the documentation and provide that to Amazon and fight your case. Now product authenticity complaint. Now product authenticity complaint by the customer is also a serious matter, where the customer is saying that the product is not what the seller is trying to sell and it is not authentic. So this again, like a customer has bought a branded thing from you and somehow it is not authentic, rather it's a second copy of that brand. So the customer can give a product authenticity complaints. Mind you, all these complaints are very serious and they can get your account deactivated. So this is like a very important segment. So please go through till the end of the video, and if you like it, please subscribe the channel. Now product condition complaint. Product condition complaint is like where customer is saying that that I was told that the product is new and fit, but it is not. So here again you would have to be providing all the proofs that you have with pictures, documentation, invoices, so that to resolve that. Now food and product safety issues. So this is related to mostly in dairy products, where the customer complains that the expiry was not followed, or they received expired product, defective product, something like that. So this is also very serious issues needs to be addressed on that. Now comes the listing policy violation. So there are certain violations that are applied on listings. For example, the prohibited words. You cannot claim certain words without documentation, like 100% Egyptian cotton, like 100% any material, 100% cotton or anything. So you cannot claim unless you are giving a proper document for that. So those sort of restricted material or restricted claims or prohibited words, when you use in your listing, the listing goes into the listing policy violations. Like you are using something that is not allowed in the bullet points, you are not following up with the guidelines that Amazon has given regarding the listing policy. So then you will have to fix each of that listing policy violation by taking out those material from your listings. Then comes a relatively different thing, which is restricted product policy violation. Now restricted product policy violation is something that there are number of products which Amazon has restricted to be sold on Amazon. So if Amazon suspects that it is a restricted product, then they are going to take away your listings. So you would have to either agree that okay, we didn't know that and we were selling it, we will not sell it, we have taken out our listing. The second scenario, that the product is not a restricted product and Amazon has mistakenly identified that, and it happens a lot. So you would have to represent your case, you would have to provide all the documentation and get your listing out of this restricted product violations. So it is easy, it is doable. I do it on regular basis, I would say. So it's not an issue. Now, customer product review policy violation. So this is a slightly rare. I would say we don't receive customer product review policy violations, because if you are somehow getting the reviews that are not meant to be, then this violations come. So always your reviews should be accurate, and they should not be like forged. So if you are getting the accurate reviews, then you will be good to go here. Then we have the other policy violations. So other policy violations are normally pricing violations. Once Amazon sees that your listing are selling at a price higher than the external price, I have cleared these terminologies very clear in my previous video regarding the pricing. So you will receive the other policy violations. For that, you have to lower or match that pricing that Amazon has referred to you. Now comes the regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance is something that is of a serious nature. Like Amazon wants you to fill like Inform Customer Act regulations. So these sort of regulatory compliance, like verifying your account number, customer care number, address, these sort of compliance that comes up here, you should always be on top of them and resolve them. So we have now covered on our account the complete account health segment, including the shipping performance, ODR, and today in this video the other violations. Please subscribe to our channel Digital Bytecraft and stay tuned for more videos on Amazon. And also we are now going to start our new courses regarding the other platforms that we are going to cover, including Walmart, Etsy, Shopify, and many others. Stay tuned.